Have you ever looked at a loved one, maybe a parent, spouse, or close friend, and quietly wondered, are they okay? Are we running out of time? It's a question no one wants to ask, yet many silently do. The truth is, there are subtle signs that our loved ones may be entering their final chapter. These signs don't always scream for attention, but if you know what to look for, they can gently whisper the truth. In this video, we'll go over 5 important signs that may indicate someone you care about could have just a year left. These are not meant to scare you, but to prepare you, to give you the knowledge you need to be present, supportive, and ready. Some of these signs may surprise you. Stay with us until the end of this video, because understanding these changes early can help you create peace, preserve dignity, and bring comfort to someone you love. Let's get started. Sign number 1, significant weight loss or muscle wasting. One of the earliest and most visible signs is unintentional weight loss. If your loved one is losing weight without trying, especially if they're not dieting or increasing physical activity, it could be a red flag. More than just the number on the scale, look for muscle loss. Are their arms and legs looking thinner? Are their clothes suddenly baggy? Muscle wasting, called cachexia, is common in late-stage chronic illness, even when the person seems to be eating normally. It often shows up in people with cancer, heart failure, or chronic lung disease. The body starts breaking down muscle tissue faster than it can rebuild it. You may notice they struggle more to get up from a chair or walk upstairs. Or they may say things like, "I just don't feel as strong as I used to." These aren't just signs of aging, they can be signs the body is preparing for its final stages. Sign number 2, withdrawal from social activities and hobbies. Has your loved one stopped doing the things they used to enjoy? Maybe they no longer want to go out with friends, attend church, or even watch their favorite TV shows. If they're retreating from daily life, this could be more than just fatigue. It might be emotional or physical detachment that signals a deeper decline. When someone nears the end of life, energy levels drop and the brain begins to shift focus inward. They may not have the strength or motivation to engage with the outside world the way they once did. This doesn't always mean depression. It can be the body's way of conserving energy for essential functions. That's why it's important to notice changes in routine. Are they skipping meals with family, avoiding phone calls, or not showing interest in news or events they once cared about? These are not just emotional shifts. They can be signs that the person is slowly letting go. If they're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Now that we've covered signs of physical decline and emotional withdrawal, let's move on to another area that often signals time may be limited: unexpected changes in mental clarity. Sign number 3, increasing confusion or memory loss. It's normal for memory to fade a little with age. We all forget where we put the keys or why we walked into a room. But when your loved one starts forgetting important names, appointments, or where they are, it could be something more serious. When someone has less than a year left, their brain may begin to slow down as part of the body's natural decline. You may notice them asking the same questions over and over, confusing night and day, or seeming disoriented even in familiar places. Sometimes they may struggle to follow conversations or suddenly become unsure of how to complete everyday tasks, like making coffee or using a phone. These moments can be subtle at first. They might laugh it off or say, "I'm just tired," and that may even be true. But if you begin to notice this happening regularly, it's worth paying attention. Confusion and mental fog can increase as the body diverts energy away from brain function to sustain more critical systems. It's also common to see personality changes. Someone who was once calm may become anxious, irritable, or even withdrawn. These shifts can be distressing for family, but they're often a sign of the brain's gradual decline. Supporting your loved one with patience, gentle reminders, and keeping routines simple can help ease this phase. Sign number 4. Difficulty managing daily tasks. As energy declines and cognitive functions weaken, even small tasks can start to feel overwhelming. If your loved one begins having trouble with cooking, bathing, handling mail, or remembering medications, this could be a serious sign. Sometimes these changes are chalked up to aging, but a rapid decline in independence, especially over the course of a few months, may point to something more urgent. Watch for signs like unopened bills, piles of laundry, spoiled food in the fridge, or repeated calls for help with basic tasks. Many seniors won't tell you when they're struggling. They may be afraid of losing their independence or simply embarrassed. That's why it's so important to observe gently. Ask questions like, how are meals going lately? Or have you had any trouble keeping up with your medications? If they seem hesitant or dismissive, pay attention to the details. What does their home look like? Are they dressing appropriately for the weather? Is their hygiene slipping? These signs may indicate that the body and mind are beginning to shut down, signaling that time is becoming more limited than we'd like to believe. If they're still with me and finding this helpful, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. It means a lot to know someone like you is listening, learning, and taking care of their mind. And if you haven't yet, I'd love for you to subscribe and turn on notifications. This channel exists for people like you, those who care deeply about living well and aging wisely. Let's continue now. Sign number 5, noticeable physical weakness and changes in mobility. As the body prepares for its final stages, physical strength tends to decline quickly. If your loved one starts having trouble with mobility, such as standing up, walking, or even sitting upright for long periods, it may be a signal that their overall health is deteriorating more rapidly than expected. Watch for signs like frequent falls, shuffling feet, or difficulty climbing stairs. They may begin using furniture or walls for support, even in familiar places like their home. You might hear them say things like, "I feel tired all the time," or "My legs just don't want to work anymore." These aren't just signs of aging. They can indicate a deeper exhaustion coming from the body's waning energy reserves. Another common red flag is sleeping more during the day. While naps are normal for older adults, extended sleep, especially if they're missing meals, conversations, or favorite activities, can point to a serious downturn. The body is naturally conserving energy for essential functions, and that often shows up as prolonged fatigue and reduced movement. Small things become harder: brushing hair, getting dressed, even holding a cup of tea. If your loved one begins opting out of these tasks, not because they've forgotten how, but because it's simply too exhausting, it's time to have a gentle conversation with their doctor. You don't have to panic, but awareness is key. Observing these subtle but steady physical changes can help you better support their comfort and dignity during this time. Bonus sign: giving away personal items or tying up loose ends. One of the most emotionally powerful yet often overlooked signs is when a loved one begins to settle their affairs, quietly and with intention. You might notice they start giving away treasured belongings, family heirlooms, photo albums, favorite books. Sometimes they'll say things like, "I want you to have this," or "This should go to someone who will appreciate it." They may also begin organizing paperwork, finalizing wills, or expressing specific wishes about their funeral, medical care, or personal legacy. These aren't morbid conversations. They're meaningful. Often, the person knows or senses they're entering the final stretch and wants to leave peace behind. Sometimes this comes with an increased sense of clarity or urgency, They may reach out to estranged family members to make amends or talk about memories from long ago. These subtle farewells can be hard to accept, but they're also a gift, a chance to say the words we often leave unsaid until it's too late. If your loved one is talking more about the past than the future, or expressing that they're ready, it's worth leaning in with compassion. Don't brush it off. Listen, be present. These conversations often matter more than we realize in the moment. If they're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 5 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any new videos. Now let's move forward. We've walked through the quiet but powerful signs that may indicate a loved one has just a year left. But now comes the most important part. What can you actually do with this knowledge? First, remember this. Awareness is not a sentence. It's a gift. Knowing what may be ahead gives you the power to plan, to connect more deeply, and to make every moment meaningful. If you've seen one or more of these signs in someone close to you, it doesn't necessarily mean the end is imminent. But it is a chance to show up more fully, love more freely, and prepare more wisely. Start conversations. Gently approach these moments with love, not fear. You don't need to jump straight into serious talks about end-of-life care. Instead, ask how they're feeling. Talk about memories. Sit with them without rushing. Often, just being there means more than any grand gesture, if and when the time feels right. Encourage gentle planning. Have you thought about what you'd want if something ever happened? Can open the door without being overwhelming. These conversations may feel awkward, but they are acts of love. They remove uncertainty and fear for both of you. Honor their routine. While watching for change, let them live how they want to live. If they still enjoy gardening, help them get outside safely. If they love music, play their favorite songs. At the same time, stay alert to changes in mobility, appetite, or mood. These shifts matter, and being present to notice them gives you time to respond early before crisis hits. Bring in help when needed. You don't have to do it alone. If your loved one is struggling with daily activities or managing their health, consider reaching out to their doctor, a geriatric care manager, or local support organizations. Hospice and palliative care are not about giving up. They're about improving quality of life, even months before the end. In fact, studies show that people who receive palliative care early not only live more comfortably, they sometimes live longer. So don't wait for a medical emergency to ask questions or seek support. Make memories without pressure. This might be the most overlooked advice. Don't try to make every moment perfect. Some days will be hard, others will be beautiful. Focus on the small joys. Share a cup of tea, watch the sunset together. Tell them you love them. You're not responsible for fixing the situation, but you can help make it easier, lighter, more peaceful. Final thoughts. We've covered 5 powerful signs. Your loved one may have just a year left. Unexplained weight, loss, emotional withdrawal, mental fog, difficulty managing daily tasks, and physical weakness. We also talked about the subtle but deeply meaningful sign of tying up loose ends. These signs are not meant to instill fear. They are meant to shine light on what often goes unnoticed. And that light can guide you to be more compassionate, more attentive, and more courageous in the face of one of life's hardest truths. Remember, small changes can make a big difference in your health and happiness, and in the well-being of those you care about. Thank you for joining us today. I'd love to hear from you. Please share your thoughts, leave a comment below, and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. Your support helps Us continue creating content to inform and inspire. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Until next time, stay kind, stay present, and remember, even in our final chapters, we can live with meaning, love, and peace.